Good evening. It's Monday night. It's the Monday before Christmas. It's 8:30. We're still top of the league. We're going to beat now Turkey, knowing that we're top of the league, and we've also got a big League Cup quarter final against Crystal Palace tomorrow. So loads going on, loads to discuss. But before we get into that, we'll pass over to my co-host Johnny Brooks, who I think he's having a nibble on his sweets. Is that sweets there, Mr. Brooks?
He never stops eating. He never stops eating.
They're called him presents. Are they all for me and Andy?
Yeah, that's it, mate. I feel like Santa Claus.
You're the same size.
No, what is it? Shit, bastard. Go on. Now, because I'm all sat out in the conservatory to do the show on the table, and Sarah's just whacked all these presents on there. And if I touch one, the whole thing's just going to go. So I'm just.
Oh, do it.
If you see me swearing in a minute, you know. Yeah. But no, I'm all good, mate. We're still top of the league. Happy Christmas, everybody. Yeah, people are moaning, but we're still 2 points clear. The pressure's on, but we're getting the job done. Yeah, it's a busy time. I'm bloody knackered. I'm not going to lie, work's absolutely knackered me out, mate. 2 more days to go. I've got 5 days off, and I can't bloody wait.
Lovely, jubbly, mate. I actually finish at 12 o'clock tomorrow lunchtime. I'll be at the game tomorrow night. Yeah, I'll be at the game tomorrow night, so looking forward to that. But
nice.
Yeah, it's that time of year, isn't it? Where the postman is on his last legs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And good evening, Andy. How you doing, mate?
Evening, mate. Yeah, really good. Thank you. Yeah. Cold and grey up in the northeast here, but spirits lifted from the 3 points at the weekend. But I guess we'll talk a bit more about that in due course.
Absolutely. You're going to do some good evenings.
A sad day in the northeast as well.
Yeah, very sad. Chris Rea
died.
Yeah, he's a legend up here.
He's not driving home for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a sad day. My mum and dad loved him.
Yeah.
They've seen him live at Wembley and
all
all
sorts.
sorts.
It's some voice he had.
No,
and a massive
Road to Hell was
a massive Borough fan.
Yes, he's massive. Yeah, he loved it.
Yeah.
Good evening to BX Gunner who's in the chat. Ho, ho, ho. Good evening to Catherine. Evening, Rascals. Good evening to Charles as well, who's in the house.
Good evening, all.
And good evening to DWTT. Good to see you on, Gary, mate. Well, let's go into, obviously, Saturday's fixtures. I'm going to go into the Man City game first, obviously, at West Ham. Look, as I think I said last week, like West Ham playing Man City is like them rolling over in it. the wet blankets.
5 minutes. I mean, 5 minutes.
Just that.
Well, it was 4 minutes better than when we was in that last game of the season title.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
But yeah, look, you expected Man City to win that game, so obviously they went top. So look, it put a lot of pressure on us on Saturday night, didn't it? Obviously, Man City going top. I was confident that we could get the result Saturday. I knew it wasn't going to be pretty. It was David Moyes versus Mikel Arteta, so it was never ever going to be a pretty game of football, was it? But for me, we got the 3 points. I think it was a really, really tricky game to go into the Christmas break against, you know what I mean? Like an Everton on a Saturday night, new stadium, 60,000 fans. I always think it was going to be one of them games where if we got the 3 points, I think that was the main thing. And I think that literally was it. Do you know what I mean? It was just getting in there and getting out there with the 3 points. Did the performance over exceed and satisfy people? Probably not. Could we have got the game done earlier? Absolutely. I think as we were talking off air, if Trossard scores that second, I think we win that game more comfortably and maybe go on to win that 3 or 4-0. But it didn't happen, did it? And it was the 1-0 to the Arsenal. But it's a massive 3 points. It does take us into the Christmas fixtures now with 2 home games. And look, they're 2 tricky games. Like Brighton have been a tricky customer for us for years at home and have upset us quite a few times. And then we're playing Aston Villa, who, whether people like it or not at the moment, are in a title race. And they've already beaten us once at Villa Park with a 95 fifth-minute goal. So a lot of wrongs need to be made right on the 30th. But I'm going to go to you first, Andy. How are you feeling going into the Christmas fixtures and Arsenal remaining top?
Yeah, I feel pretty good going into this period now with no additional injuries on the back of a win. You know, and at the end of the day, I mean, we'll talk about the performance because it was bang average. Let's be honest.
Oh
my God, he's too excited. He's combusted.
Nearly as bang average as him going offline.
You need to sort the system out. She's not cycling quick enough downstairs. Get a move on. But it's. Gabriel's getting closer. Havertz is getting closer, and they're coming back just at the right time, really, because it's a hell of a backlog of fixtures we're going to go into now, and it's all about whether we can get through this period, not taking any more injuries, but also at what point does City start getting injuries? And they've kept a clean bill of health pretty much, so it's kind of it's a tough period. But if we're going to go and win the league, it's just up to us to get through it. I think we've got the mentality for it, without a shadow of a doubt. We've proven that. I'm just hoping that the performances can just pick up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Like, performance definitely do need to pick up. As I said to you off air, like, I feel now going into these 3 games, and look, starting from tomorrow as well. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a good opportunity for some players tomorrow night. Gabriel Jesus comes to mind very much so. And he's had a good record over Crystal Palace over the last year. So you like to think that actually there'll be a bit of confidence there with him. But it's a key 3 games now, not just to get the wins, but also to get some performances with it and get players scoring again. Obviously, Gyökeres did score on Saturday, barring a penalty. Does he need to do more? Of course he needs to do more. Does the team need to do more? Of course they do. But we need to, going into these 3 games, we need to start hitting the ground running now, because when you look at coming out of these 3 games, we've got 2 tricky customers just after Christmas. Bournemouth away, which yet another ground we lost last year at, and then Liverpool at home. Now, this ain't the Liverpool that we played last year by any stretch of imagination. I watched them on Saturday night before I went out, and you wouldn't have thought Tottenham had 9 and 10 men, if I'm being totally honest.
And they are working,
yeah. I thought so. I thought so massively, and I think if Xavi Simons doesn't get sent off in that game, I don't think Liverpool win that game whatsoever. So,
what was he doing, by the way? £60 million for that.
But on his Dutch teammates as well.
I know, it's very bizarre. Very bizarre.
It's an interesting one. Albeit it's kind of saying, like, we won 20 out of 25 matches with 3 draws. Like that. We are very good at winning games of football, and we're very good at winning them quite ugly as well at times. So I guess from that kind of sense, it bodes well, doesn't it? In terms of, like, we know we can go to grounds and win 1-0. It's another game closer to hopefully Gabriel comes back and Havertz comes back. I do think once these 2 guys come back, I think you'll see a massive uplift in performances and in terms of, like, what they offer the team. So there is a lot to be optimistic about, but every game's big, and we know what Manchester City are like, don't we, John? Like, they're like an express train when they get rolling. And as Andy rightly said, they haven't had any injuries yet, and I feel that they've pretty much got away with it. They are sitting 2 points off us. They're very much in a title race as well. So every game's important now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we knew West Ham were going to roll over and die. There's a reason why they're 5 points adrift at the bottom 3, and if Forest get a result tonight, then it'll be 6 points. Yeah, they're not going to go away. There's a good chance they can reinvest in January, but we all know they're only a Highland injury away from disaster. So, they've got Sunderland away coming up. If Sunderland do what they did against us, I think they could drop a point. I'm right in thinking they've got Aston Villa coming up as well. I could be completely making it up. I don't think they're playing them soon. But so they've got some tricky games coming up. All we can do is keep winning. We keep winning. We stay top.
Yeah.
Everton away was another tricky game. Another game ticked off. Another tough away game ticked off. Look at the remaining away games we've got. There's only a few. You think, So, and obviously the likes of Man City and Villa have still got all these places to go to. So all we can do, as you said, we've got 2 massive home league games coming up. Win those. Especially Aston Villa. Oh, by the way, breaking news, I've got a ticket for that, Liam. Oh, that's good news.
Villa?
Yeah, my mum's cousin messaged me yesterday morning saying his daughter's going to America for Christmas. So
I bet you were celebrating that, weren't you?
Can't you message me?
Yeah, I was, yeah. Yeah. I'll send you a number.
As Ryan says, they have got Nottingham Forest first away, and I'll tell you that's a tricky game as well. You look at that Forest and Sunderland game, right, and you think actually they're 2 tricky customers for them, and their games do get harder after the new year. I know they've got Chelsea
Forest
away.
are a funny side. They're very hot and cold.
So look, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of positives. I think we do need to look at the positives as well. Look, the team is coming back to fitness. We are getting players back. Like, we know once Gabriel comes back, that don't just offer us more defensively, but more in an attacking side as well, in terms of set pieces. And you can tell he's being missed in terms of set pieces. But look, I think it's given Hincapié a run, isn't it, Andy? Like, it's given him some minutes in the team. I do like Hincapié. I think he will end up being a really, really top player for us. I think he can play across that back forward in terms of centre back and left back. I think that he could easily rotate that left back position with Calafiori as well, potentially. I feel that there's a lot to be confident about. Like, Gabriel Jesus is on his way back now. Hopefully, gets a start tomorrow night. I think he can become a big player second half season. Eze will be fresh tomorrow. Martinelli will be fresh tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think this is an important piece, and people were moaning at Arteta didn't bring on Eze on Saturday, but I think Arteta was quite shrewd in terms of he's looking at the bigger picture. Like, I'm going to need to rely on these guys now, like every 3 days. So I think it's like it's a good decision to keep some of these big players on the bench. Not
Noni as well.
Who?
Noni,
yeah, exactly. So like they're all going to play tomorrow night.
They're going to go.
But they want to be fully fresh. Do you know what I mean? And I think this is the key piece now, especially the Christmas period. You're going to see Madueke and all that come into games. You're going to see Saka and that come into games. But I feel that actually tomorrow night, if he doesn't need to use Saka, why use him? And this is where I don't really get our fan base at the time. We're moaning that we didn't bring on Madueke and Eze on Saturday, but I get it. We're winning 1-0. We've kept them fresh, and they'll be fresh for Tuesday.
Yeah, I suppose there's two ways to look at it. But if you think of it, like Saturday, for instance, I thought there was still a possibility to bring Eze on. I think Odegaard didn't do a great deal from my point of view, and I just think maybe it's just a little spark of something else might have been interesting. But yeah, and I also do get the fact that these big players are not needed to play now. So that's a phenomenal asset for Arteta to have now going forward through this winter period. Yeah, and getting these few guys coming back as well. And as you quite rightly mentioned, Jesus, I mean, it's only been kind of fleeting glances of him, but he looks sharp. You can kind of tell sometimes when someone's kind of found the feet quickly when they come back, and he seems to be looking really sharp. So he could be a hell of an option for us now.
As Beck's going to say, a fit and hungry Jesus that takes to the match like a fish in water is so relieving and a massive. I think this is a massive boost for us because I think he offers us something totally different to anyone else does up top. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I actually think that he's probably the best player in terms of making other players play well. Look at Martinelli's season when Jesus played up top. Like, he was firing 15, 20 goals. Do you know what I mean? I think Jesus is such a good player, and it was really, really sad what happened to him last year in terms of the injury or the start of this year, because actually at that point, he'd got his confidence back. Yeah. He was scoring goals. He was being involved. And I still think this guy's got a massive part to play in it. It kind of really baffles me at times when people are talking about like the transfer window in January with the attacking options. And I don't really see us doing any business in January in the attacking options because I actually think that we've got what we need to be able to fight on all fronts. Like, I think personally myself, if I was looking at anything, I'll be looking at another centre midfielder, if I was being totally honest, to kind of take that weight off. And it's quite interesting when I talk about that. It was brought up in the show earlier on, so I just want to bring it up.
Is that Mainu? Kobe Mainu.
Yeah, so Charles is saying Smuggo will free Kobe Mainu from Old Trafford. Special talent, can't deny agitating for a move. Saliba-style French talent, Baldi or Kobe. Can't let such chances by. What do you say? Would you be interested in someone like Mainu? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. And he's, let's be honest, he's better than Norgard. So it gives you a phenomenal option in there as an option for Zubimendi, for instance, who himself's gone through a tough period at the moment. He's not quite on it at present. Luckily, Declan Rice is, because he's just keeping the engine room ticking over almost single-handedly at the moment. So yeah, it's it'll be it's going to be an interesting one, definitely.
I do think, John, that this midfield position is probably the position actually if we get an injury, even to either of them, Zubimendi or Rice, I think we're backing ourselves into a massive corner. And we was there last year, weren't we? We didn't buy that forward in January. We backed ourselves into the corner. Then what happened a week or two later? We lost Havertz and Jesus, and we was with Mika Marino up front on his own. I do really think that if there's a position to be brought into on January, like centre midfield for me is probably the area that does kind of make me a little bit nervous if we did lose a Declan Rice or Zubimendi.
Yeah, I mean, if we lost Zubimendi, I'd be disappointed. If we lost Declan Rice, we're screwed.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was amazing again the other night. He's just
the guy's incredible.
He's just ridiculous. He's so good. He's just so good. I mean, I'd like to see him get a rest tomorrow night, to be honest. I think we should have beat Palace at home without him. Palace got back 4-1 by Leeds. We should be beating these, no problems at all. So, yeah, I'll give him a rest, save him for the league games. You know, that's where he's at. We should have more than enough, you know. Ranieri can come in, Marino can come in, Lorgar can come in. There's plenty of options. Odegaard, there's many options. You know, you can afford to rest both of them if need be. I mean, we could get another person in, but I don't know who. Mainoo, I don't. Yeah, I'll take it or leave it. Even when he's playing for England United, I didn't think much of him, to be fair. There's obviously clearly something going on. You know, I don't know if it's his attitude or what. But, yeah, I mean, Man United manager, he's a lot of things, but he's not an idiot. If he's not picking him, he's picking him for a reason. We don't know why. But, yeah, he's obviously seen something he don't like. And you see some of the other crap that's playing for Man United, so he must have done something. But, yeah, there's got to be better out there. You know, I'm sure they're looking at it all. And I know someone mentioned there's a young French lad. Is it for Lille?
Yeah.
I think that's somebody mentioned, and he looks good. Again, it's a French league into England. That's the only thing Mainoo would have. He has played in the Premier League. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we need any forwards. I think you're correct. I don't think we'll get Semenyo. I think he'll probably go to Liverpool.
Or City.
Rodgers will be the one, but he's going to be far too expensive now, and Philip ain't going to sell him. He's the one player I want in the summer. If we're going to sign a winger, he's the one. He's fantastic. He's in peak form.
He's unplayable at the moment.
It's outrageous. He's the reason why Villa are where they are. It's not only Watkins, it's him. So
yeah, it is. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, just look after Declan Rice. Just keep wrapping him up. Just give him cuddles. Just look after him. He's the one player we cannot afford to lose at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can survive everyone else. We have survived with everyone else. Everyone's been tremendous. But Declan Rice is the key.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Declan Rice is the key. I think his performances this year have been absolutely out of this world at times in terms of the amount that he puts himself through.
He just doesn't stop.
And I just feel that actually, like over this last few weeks, I think you've seen. I think because like firstly how the games have gone, but I think obviously where he's been expected to carry the team, and he has been expected to carry the team at times in that centre midfield. I think that actually that's why you're seeing a bit of a frustrated Declan Rice. I actually think that this week just gone, was probably a good thing for Declan. I'm quite interested tomorrow night in terms of what he plays tomorrow night, because Crystal Palace are no mugs. Do you know what I mean? Like we're talking about a team that haven't lost a competitive game of cup football in the English tournament since obviously Arsenal at the Emirates back end of December last year, and that was in the same point at the League Cup quarter final. So we're playing a team that's a very, very good cup team that's obviously won the FA Cup, won the Charity Shield. So they're not to be taken lightly tomorrow whatsoever, and they've just come off the back of a 3-0 defeat themselves. Now, I'm guessing a little bit they're going to be their squad's very small, isn't it? There's going to be some fatigue for them as well. But I'm quite interested to see how he goes with the centre midfield tomorrow, because my personal opinion is I think Declan Rice shouldn't be expected to really start that game. If I'm being totally honest, with that Saturday game in mind, that would be my priority. But do you feel that he'll give Norgard a chance? Zubimendi as well. Like obviously he probably needs a rest, but I'm not sure I can see him resting both Declan and Zubimendi.
No, I don't think so. And I think we need to remember as well, it's a semi-final, and we really need to win a cup this year. And God forbid, this might be our only cup that we get. So it's kind of you're sorry?
It's a quarter final, not a semi.
A quarter final, yeah, but I'm saying in relation to the cup itself, it's like, you know, I forgot my train of thought there. Where we going with that?
Sorry.
No, he was going about winning the games to get like a semi-final at stake.
Yeah, it's massive because, like I say, we do want a trophy. It's so important now that we get something this season. We're building some momentum. I actually don't think there'll be many changes. It's not what I would do. I'd like to see a few players rested, as you just mentioned. Declan Rice's, Odegaard can take a break, Saka can take a break, but ultimately, I'm not sure he will. I think he knows himself. He's desperate to win a trophy, and if it means going nearly full pelt again, it wouldn't surprise me.
Who do you think will start in goal?
I would start Kepa in goal.
You think so?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
I mean, I hope he does. I really hope he does.
Yeah, he will 100% play for Kepa tomorrow. Like Kepa's played all the League Cup games. Kepa
Yeah.
will play all the cup games, like the English Cup games. Like he's good. He's a very good goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, when I've seen him in the League Cup, there's not much of a drop. Like you know what it's like. First choice goal with second choice goal. There's usually a big drop, isn't there, in terms of level? But actually, there is not that big of a drop. Like Kepa is a very good, established Premier League goalkeeper who's played internationally as well. So
75 million for a reason.
No, I've got no doubts Kepa will start tomorrow. And actually, if we go to a penalty shootout, which I hope we don't, Kepa's the better goalkeeper in the penalty shootouts. Kepa is.
Well, we know he won't come off.
Yeah,
you don't want to hit that nest again, do you? But
no,
yeah,
I do think that my only worry tomorrow night, and I've got one player that sticks out of mind, is Timber, because at the moment we're relying on this guy because actually there is not another right back if he gets injured. Now, does Mikel go in, dip into the obviously youth and bring out Josh Nichols tomorrow night?
Josh Nichols, yeah, absolutely.
Does he give him an opportunity? We have seen him in the past. Do you know what I mean? Or do you know what I mean? I'm just worried that actually we can't afford to be losing Timber. We lose Timber, we're in a bit of a pickle. We talk about like the centre midfield issue, but actually the right back issue is a bit of a tender situation till Ben returns. So do you think there's an opportunity, Andy, that we could see someone like Nichols tomorrow?
Yeah. Honestly, I really hope we see the kid as well, because I, like you, I'm petrified of him getting injured. The problem being with Ben White obviously being out for 6 weeks, they're saying 4 to 6 weeks or something.
I think it's less than that now. He said in the press conference the other day he thought it might only be a few games.
Oh, did he? All right. Well, that isn't quite so bad then. But ultimately, we can't in this run of fixtures going forward now, because he just seems completely unfazed by anything that comes at him. Timber, he deals with everything, and he's just an absolute unit for us. So God forbid we lose him. But I hope to see the young kid tomorrow. By all accounts, they speak quite highly of him. So give him a go, chuck him in.
Yeah, I think as long as you got Willie Saliba next to him, I think actually, do you know what I mean? Like, I look at Skelly will play tomorrow night, so I think he'll play instead of Calafiori. But I don't think he'll change centre backs tomorrow night because I don't think there's much scope. And look, I know Norgard played at centre back against in Europe against Club Brugge, but we're talking about Mateta.
And Eddie,
Yeah, this guy would eat someone like Norgard up at centre back. So I don't. He gives Saliba a good run around. So Saliba's got his hands full tomorrow night. But I can't see him messing around with the centre backs tomorrow night, because I think if you start resting centre backs tomorrow night against these, there would be a big problem. So I can see Saliba and Hincapié starting with Skelly left back, but I'll be interested to see what actually happens with the right back situation tomorrow, because I do think that playing Timber is a risk. Do you know what I mean? With Brighton just a few days after. So,
I agree. Yeah.
That's probably the area. Like, you look at the centre midfield, and like I think either Rice or Mendy do start. I don't think Nwaneri starts, because I think he'll play Mikel Merino. He'll give him obviously a game. So, and then there's Eze. So I think Eze starts as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if you see something like Subamendi, Merino, and Eze. And then Martinelli, Madueke, and Jesus up top. When you look at that team, like on the counter attack against this team, and Palace ain't a team that will just sit there. Do you know what I mean? I tell you what, it could be a bloody good game of football tomorrow night, John.
Yeah, I'm not being funny. It could be the worst game when the ball. I just win. I don't want to be entertained. Just win 1-0. I don't care. I mean, Palace will have a go. I thought Palace were going to do Europa Conference League, but they're making up out of that. So this is realistically a very good chance to them to get another cup. Because I can't imagine winning the FA Cup again. Lion don't strike twice, bless them. I mean, they'll have a go, but again, as you've already said, they've got a very thin squads, and he'll be looking at the league games as well, because he wants to, obviously they were doing well in the league, and not being funny, the top six, if you take away Aston City, maybe Villa, but it's very, very open. Everyone's beating everybody, and they've got a good chance of nicking, top six. So
keep players fit.
it will be interesting to see who he plays tomorrow, because obviously, he'll be looking at the league table thinking, we got half a chance.
I think the other interesting thing is as well with Crystal Palace, that draw the other night in the Conference League, was not a good result for them whatsoever, because they've now got.
I know they've rested a lot of players.
They've got to play 2 playoff games now at the start of the year to even get through to the Conference League. Now, look, I look at the fixtures they got; they should kind of waltz that, but could there be that
travelling and more games? They could get more injuries, but
could that be that piece tomorrow? That Glasner's looking at all the fixtures and thinking, do you know what? If I'm going to get 2 League Cup semi-finals and 2 playoffs as well, that's a lot of fixtures for that small squad. And let's be honest, that Palace squad is not big whatsoever. I think you could see that when the team they put out against that European side the other night.
Young players,
very young.
I'm not too sure, Liam. I think there's another side to look at that as well. Or does Glasner look at it thinking we're 3 games away from guaranteed Europe next year? And then not having to worry about the top 6. They've got shat on this year by dropping down to the league they're in, and they fully deserve an opportunity to go play in the proper league next year. So there might be that side of it as well.
I think it's an interesting one with them coming up tomorrow. I think it's really I think Glasner want to win the League Cup. Like, why would he not? He's won the FA Cup. Why would he not want to win the League Cup? I just think that that's a little grenade thrown in there against Crystal Palace, which they probably wouldn't have wanted, and that will really test their resolve in the semi-finals. They do beat us. That actually they've got to play 2 League Cup games, and then obviously play these playoff games as well. Now, I think we've drawn the best. I think as long as we get through, I think if you'd asked me for the 3 teams that I would have wanted, I'd have probably told you Chelsea.
Yeah,
if I'm being totally honest. Didn't want Newcastle again because what happened last year. Man City, you just want to play them off in the one-off final.
You don't want 2 games against them.
No, not this moment. Top first, second. You don't need that one forever. So I actually think getting the away game first at Chelsea, I think we've got a golden opportunity here. Do you know what I mean? Like, we know we can go to Chelsea and shut the door. Do you know what I mean on them? Like, hopefully by that point we're going to have out all our defenders back. So I actually think the Chelsea draw and being away from home first in the semi-final, first leg, I think has really, really helped us out. And I totally agree with you, Andy. For me, we've not won this League Cup tournament since 1993. It's unacceptable that we've not won this cup since 1993.
So 32 years.
Yeah, exactly. You can paint a picture. It's just a Mickey Mouse Cup, or it's just this, it's just that. Well, Pep Guardiola obviously didn't think that. He went and won it 4 years on a row. Do you know what I mean? And what happened there? It stemmed confidence, and then the rest is history. There's 1-1-5 of it, but at the end of the day, Mikel Arteta, in my eyes, needs to treat this like Pep Guardiola would treat it, and bring that trophy home. Because actually, get the first trophy in the cabinet at the start of March.
Yeah,
it'll bring a lift more confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, what a lift for the players. You raise that trophy in front of your supporters, and that gives you a real feel for it. And you're in touching distance of the league. Hopefully, the Champions League still rumbling on. FA Cup still there as well. It could be massive and a great time as well. Like, it's kind of the end of Feb, isn't it, when they play that final? I think so. It's a massive boost going into the last couple of months of the season. So yeah, absolutely, just go all out for it. I want us to win at Wembley again. Every year you watch these teams celebrating and. You think, why isn't it us? Why isn't it us? We've got an opportunity here, a big opportunity to get our hands on that trophy, then move on.
And this is why I do feel that Mikel Arteta, he was probably keeping players in reserve on Saturday. Like, I think he was thinking, do I bring them on? Do I really need to bring them on? Do you know what I mean? Do I just let players see it? It was it's a risk that could have backfired, but it didn't backfire. And actually, we go into tomorrow night, and I totally agree with DWTT in terms of Madueke. I don't really like the fault that he scored them 2 goals and then he hasn't come off the bench in the next 2 games. It don't really sit well with me.
It's a bit strange. Yeah.
But
no, it's not right. Yeah,
it might leave him very, very hungry tomorrow night to show us what he's made of. And I just want to have a chat with you about him, Andy, because I think he's been a breath of fresh air this year. Look, he's starting to get stats to his game now. He's starting to get goals and assists. We see that incredible strike he scored. But I think that this guy's got the ability to go to the next level, personally, if Arteta can get him right. I think there is still a lot of defensive work that needs to be done with him, because we know how Mikel likes his wingers to track back and all that and work hard. But is there any scope that in games we could play Saka over on the left, or we could rotate him around and have both Madueke and Saka playing?
Yeah, I think there is, because when you think of it, I mean, he's just far too good a player to not be playing anywhere near as much as what he is. You know, we saw that glimpse early in the season when he was just terrorising defenders left, right and centre. I think he surprised us all by how quick he is. He is absolute lightning. And he seems to be flourishing at a club that clearly, to put their arms around him, I think he probably feels a bit loved by the club as well. And we reap the rewards, you know, in the performances that we see. You know, there's been times this season when it could have been argued, if they were fit, could you have played Madueke over Saka on a couple of occasions, you know, because he was that good. But ultimately, he's going to be, hopefully, a massive opportunity, a big weapon to use going through these periods. His pace and his skill frighten the life out of teams. Yeah,
no, I totally agree. Like, John, look, he showed at Club Brugge, didn't he, like what he's got in his locker. And like Andy said, like coming into his next coming fixtures, he's going to be a massive piece for us, whether he's starting or coming for bench. How would you operate the two winger vacancies if you was the manager?
Yeah, I don't think you can really move Saka. He stays where he is. You know, no reason why I can't play the other sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think you can move Saka. This makes me laugh. It's like with England. Oh, you can put Saka on the other side. Well, why's Saka got to move? Yeah, no. I think Madueke must have known when he came into the squad. You know, you'll get your chances here and there. He's played with Saka enough times with England. He knows he's the main man. I mean, there's no reason he can't play on the other side. I mean, that's one of them. Although then Trossard has done very well as well. So it's just very good against other options. I mean, you're right. I think Madueke will be very hungry tomorrow night. He seems to have settled in so well. He looks so happy and very content. And not really watching much of him at Chelsea, but from bits I see, he didn't look as happy as he does now. I mean, for we know, he could have been carrying a little knock or a slight illness, because I know Bryce was in well the other week. So he's just protecting him, holding him back, and then unleashing him, which, you know, pretty good thing to do with all the games coming up. Yeah, I think he's been very sensible. If he can rest the players and not need to use them, with all the games coming up, we've got 4 or 5 games in like 2 weeks. Yeah, it could be so important. He could have that energy boost in the last 25 minutes of games against like Villa, for example, when they're tiring. You know, if Saka does need to come off, you bring him on. The fullback like Matty Cash is a bit, oh bloody hell!
Imagine that, yeah.
I've got to go again. So you know, I think he's been very clever with his squad at the moment. I mean, we could be saying different tomorrow night if he plays his first team and he'll get injured. But yeah, no, I think he's doing all right.
Yeah.
I mean, the only problem is, I mean, Madueke, like I said, he scored that wonder goal, and then it is strange he hasn't played. And you wonder if he does well tomorrow night, then he probably won't play against Brighton. But yeah, so I don't know. I think he does have his favourites in certain positions, I think. But then Trossard doesn't really let him down this season. I know he's unlucky. He hit the post the other day. People like moaning, but it was a lovely move. And he was unlucky. He was an incident right, and it's in. But he hasn't let him down all season, so he doesn't really deserve to be dropped in a way.
Yeah.
It's just great to have the options. You know.
I think this time of year, I think it's not all about like everyone's starting games, is it? I think it is about how you rotate, because when you start looking at our fixtures now between now and January the 3rd, there's 4 big Premier League games. Do you know what I mean? Like Palace in the League Cup, Brighton on 27th, Aston Villa on the 3rd, then Bournemouth on the 3rd, and then you go to Liverpool on the 8th. If you want to add the additional one in there, so when you start looking at them next 5 games that turn around in the space of 2.5 weeks, I think there is definitely going to be some rotation. And I think like the next 2 games against Crystal Palace and Brighton will be interesting, because for me, obviously, the Aston Villa game next Tuesday night is you wouldn't expect him to put the full first team out. I think it'd be interesting to see if we can get Gabriel back fit for that one. I think there's talk they'll be back for him.
I was just going to say that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think the whole loop would be about around getting Gabriel back fit for that. But
and Havertz, we haven't mentioned Havertz.
But I don't think it's about everyone's starting every game at the moment. I think it's about him being able to pick the right teams for the right games. You know what I mean? I think tomorrow night, as we said, there'll be a bit of a mixture. Do you know what I mean? I think from a defensively structure, I think we're pretty much set up strong. Maybe the right back and Skelly will come in at left back, but I think when you look at the forward line, we pretty much know who's going to start tomorrow. And look, they're 3 quality players. Like they could cause loads of hassle tomorrow night if they perform right. And I'm quite confident tomorrow night that I think we'll get the victory. I think it's a big piece for Arsenal this year, especially after what happened in the semi-final last year against Newcastle, because we went out with a whimper last year and it weren't good enough. It weren't acceptable, mate. Look, let's be honest, it weren't acceptable last year what happened at Newcastle. It was pretty embarrassing. Just reading there, mate, Isak to have surgery on his broken leg. That's awful. That's awful news, really.
I have to say, when I see that, I was amazed that Van de Ven didn't even get carded. I thought it was I mean, if he hadn't scored, I'd like to think they would have given the penalty because he completely wiped him out.
Yeah. That was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Talk about having no luck.
No.
Yeah. Like,
why couldn't it have been Haaland?
Well, there you go. But
I don't wish that on anyone.
It was like
you're right though.
To score a goal and then get a broken leg from it, it's just awful, isn't it? Like, I know he's not
just when you're trying to get your form back.
So that'll be a few months out for him then.
Yeah. So well, hopefully
it definitely means they're going to sign Semenyo now. They'll definitely get Semenyo in now.
But yeah, looking at the Palace team quickly, obviously go to you, Andy, on this one. Got some good players. Mateta, we know, is really good. I like the kid Adam Walton in centre midfield. I think he's going to have a big future. They've got some really good, good
players. Mark Gay, Mitchell. They got some really good players.
And I was really impressed with Lacroix against Arsenal.
Yeah, I was just going to say him. He's in my FPL team. He's done well.
Absolute top performance he played against.
He's a beast.
Yeah, and I think if you take away the weekend result when they got panned, up until that point, really, that they've been a match for everybody. I mean, that's why the season's been going so well. And there's been in some games they've been absolutely unbelievable. So they haven't become crap overnight because they lost at the weekend. And the European performance was disappointing because they were coached in that game as well. But they'll be fired up for tomorrow night because it's another massive opportunity for them to go to Wembley. And like I said, and for them to batten down a European spot.
They got some really good players. So I think it's not going to be easy tomorrow night by any stretch of imaginations. So we've got to set up to win this game and be solid. And I don't think we can take too much for granted at the end of the day. Like I said, they're 6th in the league. They won the FA Cup and Charity Shield. So they're not a team that you can sit there and go, come on, let's rotate the full team and go out there and beat them. I don't think that can happen tomorrow night. But at the same point, Arteta's got a squad now that actually he needs to be getting into finals, whether it's the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Champions League. He needs to be getting into cup finals. He hasn't got in a cup final since 2020. So he needs to reverse that. So I think tomorrow night's a big night for him. What are you looking at score-wise tomorrow night, chaps? I'm going to go to you first on that one, John.
Also, I was just thinking, I wouldn't be surprised if you put Jesus on the wing and play Gukura's up top. Just to give him another run. I could see that as well.
Yeah.
If you scored a goal, just get him scoring again. If you get a goal at home, especially, I think that would help. I do think we'll win, obviously. I'll go 3-1. I could see them scoring because Mateta, he has a good record, especially at our place. He enjoys playing at ours. He does give him a run around. But, I fancy it. I mean, I presume he'll fully load the bench. So, I'm fairly confident, not being disrespectful. But I'll say 3-1, I think so.
Remember last game we was.
Well, it's 3-2. We beat them last year.
Yeah, we was 1-0 down at half time, and he brought an Odegaard.
They scored early on. It was like a long ball, and they all missed it. And Mateta just carried on and slotted it in.
Yeah.
What are you going for, Andy?
I'll go for 2-0. I think it'll be a tough game. I really do. I think they'll come and they'll make themselves hard to beat, and they'll hope to catch us on the break. The way that he has them set up is phenomenal, really, and it's the system that suits their players. It works a treat for them. So I think it'll be a tough old game, but I'd like to think our extra quality can see us through.
Yeah, that obviously Munoz is out till mid-January. Catherine's saying as well, and that's a big
That's
loss.
a big loss for them. Yeah, very important player.
Because him coming forward. He's an absolute threat. I'm going to go for. I think I do fancy the 3-1 scoreline, to be honest, Sean. I do fancy the 3-1 scoreline. I do fancy them to score at some point because I think it's a cup game and I think they will score at some point. Yeah, I'm going to go 3-1. Obviously, looking ahead to them Brighton, where we probably expect the team to be kind of rotated back into a more of a team that obviously played against Everton. I know we spoke about Trossard the other night. How did you feel he played, Andy, in terms of that performance? Obviously, you would expect him 9 times out of 10 to bang that goal in, which would have probably finished the game off. But he's had a really good season, hasn't he?
He's been superb, and I was one of his biggest critics last season, to be honest. And I never seen this coming. I just thought he would be used as an explosive substitute, an impact player. Maybe him and Martinelli would alternate between that position. But he's come in and he's just been a revelation. And in fairness, out of all the squad, he's the one player I would have wanted in that position for that shot at the weekend. And yet just very unlucky. Hits the post and goes out on another day. It goes 2-0 and the game's done and we can relax even more. But no, he's been a breath of fresh air. He really has. And he puts a proper shift in. It can sometimes drive me mad because he sometimes holds the ball a bit too long for me. But then from the end of that, he'll pick out a wonder pass. And he's been exceptional. Massive bonus for us this season.
Yeah, no, definitely a massive bonus. And obviously, with that, John, Odegaard's back in the team now. Obviously, captaining the team again. Glad to have him back. I know you're a big fan of him.
Yeah, no, it's always good to have the captain back. I mean, when it's just when he gets the ball, he's always looking to get forward. It's quite frustrating sometimes if people not making the right runs. And I still think sometimes they're still looking for Victor. I don't know if it's not really because he does move around a lot. I still question sometimes. I just struggle to get him involved sometimes, but I guess it will come in time. But he's always going to come in. He's always trying to look between the lines and get forward. I thought he did it right the other night. I mean, we did what we needed to do. The other night, it's just one of those performances. People going moaning, but it's just one of those games. You just go away from home, late night, December, just get the win. We'll take like 6-7 more of those. Especially this time of year. Everyone knows how important the Christmas period is. So, just keep ticking off the wins. That would have been a kick in the teeth for Man City because when they come off the pitch, I say, to see Everton get the result later. And I think a lot of people are probably expecting us to fail, which is ridiculous, really, when we've been top most of the season. And just puts on another little marker that we're still top and we're
going nowhere.
Well, exactly, we're still there to be shot at. Bring it on.
I totally agree, and I do think, Andy, that actually with these 2 away games coming for Man City, I think will be a true test of character. But look, if they come out the other side of it with 6 points, then you start sitting there thinking, actually, is the Man City Express train on? But there's the other side looking at it as well, isn't it? Like if they start slipping up in games and we win the games, it goes back to 4 points again, and then that puts the pressure on Man City so much more, doesn't it? Because then they can't afford to lose again. And look, we see that with Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? They pretty much took themselves up. That they're in this title race after the 1-1 draw, which I do enjoy because I don't like Chelsea.
Who does?
No, exactly, as John Oakes probably well knows. But you see, after they drop a few points and they start going further behind, then the doubts creep in, don't they? And then the performances get harder, don't they? Because actually, it becomes much harder when you're falling back and seeing that the team that are winning just keep winning. And it's what happened with us in Liverpool last year, wasn't it? Like, if you remember December, January time, like there was a time when we weren't that far away from them. We was literally about 4 or 5 points. But the problem was when they were winning and it was making us then have to go into a game, like it's a must not lose game. It's a must not lose game. It's not always a must not draw game. It's basically a must win. And this is the thing, isn't it? If Man City, just say for the next 2 games, Man City even get, so just say 4 points out of 6. Do you know what I mean? That and Arsenal got 6 points out of 6. That pushes for Arsenal 4 points clear again. And then Man City get into a situation where they have to win every game.
Yeah, and we need to be the ones in the ascendancy now. We've got hold of the box seat. It's about keeping hold of it. And they've got to go. And is it Forest they got at the weekend? Isn't it?
I think it's our game.
Sean Dyche has them set up. They're hard to beat.
They're currently losing. They're Forest at the moment, though. Losing away from them.
Yeah, 1-0, I think. But it's massive for us. No matter what's going on with City now, we've just got to do all we can literally do. Focus on tomorrow night, get that out of the way. Focus on the next game, get the 3 points. I can't see many spectacular performances coming up. I think there's going to be some heavy legs through Christmas. I just think you'll get more Everton kind of performances where enough, win the game fairly comfortably, even though it was only 1-0, and just looking strong and staying strong throughout. I can't see major free-flowing football and all that kind of stuff. I think we'll just grind through it.
What time's the City game Saturday? Is it lunchtime or evening?
Don't know, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, let me have a look.
Well, I'm
having a look. Good evening to Gamer Sister who's in the house. Good evening to Jason. Asking will Kepa start and rest Raya tomorrow. Yeah, pretty much. I believe that will happen tomorrow night.
So. Yeah.
Let's have a quick look on Saturday's fixtures.
I had a feeling there might be lunchtime. I don't know why I'm thinking it. And
Chelsea Villa's rather lunchtime, to be honest, yeah.
Is that right? I think they're half 12. I think Chelsea Villa's at half 5.
They're 12:30, and we're 3 o'clock.
So that'd be quite interesting, won't it?
Forest beat them, when we win, we go 5 points clear. See you later.
If Forest can just get a draw, just stop them from winning.
Yeah,
that's all we want.
And then Chelsea beat Villa, help us out, and when we beat Villa, we'll be like 9 points clear later.
Yeah, and don't forget, Forest are fighting for their lives. They're not safe at the moment.
Especially if they don't get results tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, so they need to be getting some points on the board pretty soon, just to kind of make things a bit safer. But all we can do is just see what happens there. Make sure that we come off the pitch on Saturday with 3 points.
We owe Brighton one as well. They've been a funny team the last few.
Yeah,
I don't know why it is at home, especially. We've had some funny results. Lost them and struggled. Yeah. Last year with the Declan Rice debacle and yeah, they're just a funny team. They like playing us, like winding us up. They've got that Ben Echo. He's a wind-up merchant. And now Super Danny Wilbeck, bless him, he's still going. But they were poor against Sunderland.
Yeah.
They missed a lot of chances.
They did, yeah.
So, so they obviously due a goal. But again, it's a game. If we turn up and, do our professional job, we'll win.
And just to let you know as well, the most important thing about Saturday is my birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yeah, so... Actually, not the Forest owe me a favour.
42.
Yeah, 32.
There you go.
Yeah. I will be after Christmas, mate. I can tell you that.
I think we all will be.
But yeah, Nottingham Forest owe me a favour. Arsenal owe me a favour, and actually, I hope Chelsea get a draw against Villa.
that'd be all right. Yeah, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah,
that'd be a great weekend. So. Obviously, Brighton, they've had a bit of a mixed bag this season, haven't they? Looking at the league table at the moment, they're sitting in 9th place, so another solid season for Brighton. I think they're one of them games, they'll win games, they'll lose games. It will be a tricky game on Saturday. It's one of them games where you just can't underestimate it. And I do feel like on Saturday that it's about the crowd as well. It's not just about the team. Like I was very vocal last week. I was very disappointed with the atmosphere against Wolves, and for a team that's sitting top and Christmas period and all that, a lot of seat tickets and seats go to different people, don't they? So look, if you're getting a ticket and you're going to the game, just make sure you start making yourself heard, because look, we're in a title race and the players do need us at times. If you go to Newcastle or you go to Anfield and they're pressing and they're trying to win the championship, you can't hear yourself speak.
No. We need to make sure that our decibel levels are right up there as well, and not just raise it for the big games.
Definitely.
It's quite interesting when people talk about entitlement a little bit, isn't it? Like sometimes I feel that we do feel that we can just turn up and be entitled to win games, and no, you got to earn it. You got to work hard for it, and as a fan base, you got to do your piece as well. I was really disappointed at Wolves in terms of the atmosphere. I thought it was shocking.
Poor.
Absolutely shocking. So hopefully that will be different on Saturday.
Yeah. It takes away some of the nervousness. That it can get edgy in the games, and when the crowd aren't at it as well, players can make mistakes. It's we need that support. You can't emphasize enough sometimes how important your home support is, without a shadow of a doubt. When our away form, our away crowd are just incredible. They're the only crowd you ever hear singing in away grounds. We need to transfer that to the home games. It needs to be a place that people are absolutely shitting themselves to come and play at.
Yeah.
We really need that fear factor in there.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, what are you going for Saturday, chaps? I'll start this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win Saturday.
You took it. That's exactly what I was going for, Liam. I'm going to go 2-0. I think it'll be another tough game, but I think we're just going to have too much for them and come off 2-0 victors. Get up there. After City have drawn at Forest.
I'm going to go for a wild one. I'm going to go wild. 5-2.
Oof.
Why not? It's Neil's
Watching them
birthday.
crisps you're eating. Yeah.
Mate, do you remember last year on my
It was
birthday?
a sweet, too many E numbers.
A miserable 1-0 win against Ipswich.
Oh, against Ipswich and a Friday night. God,
It was horrific,
awful.
mate. It was absolutely
It was cold,
horrific.
miserable. Oh, it was awful.
Do you know
Basically,
what?
my birthday,
I'll
Andy.
take a cold, miserable 1-0 on Saturday.
Yeah, I would take a 1-0 win as well. Yeah,
Mind you, by the same token, City have now started. They've took over from us on goal difference now.
Yeah.
We could do with putting these chances away because they're almost worth. It's almost worth a point at the end of a season.
That's what the Wolves.
I thought they were going to batter West Ham when they went 1-0 after 5 minutes. I thought they were going to win 5-6.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah.
Actually, did us a favour, only 3-0.
And look, then the big one on Tuesday night, Aston Villa at home.
It's going to be tough.
That's a big game for me on Tuesday night.
And that will be a good atmosphere because night games normally are fairly decent.
Yeah.
I know the Wolves game was at night time, but this is a big game. They'll turn up with their numbers. They've got a good away support. It's a massive
game.
game.
Which absolutely pisses me off.
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know.
What time's the kick off?
Oh, fucking hell.
8:15.
I bet I'll be working at 4 o'clock the next day. I'll be dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is shit.
Yeah, that's
8:15.
poxy,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
Well,
But
even think of the Villa fans having to travel back after that.
Yeah.
You know,
Hopefully they're travelling home in the mood.
they better be. They
Yeah.
better be.
But that will be a big game. Arteta
Yeah,
against
it'd be
Emery,
huge.
mate.
Massive game.
All the idiots will be out in force if Arsenal don't win.
Oh my God!
should've
Yeah, the
kept
world will
Emery,
crumble.
So it's a massive game, and we are. you know, it was a decent game. We played them. We shouldn't have lost, but we did. So
Yeah.
we have to beat them. You know, have to give them it back to them. But it will be tough.
Declan Rice will not let Morgan
Rodgers is
boss
probably
that
the best
midfield.
player he's probably the joint best player in the league at the moment with Declan Rice. But he's unbelievable at the moment, and they're all playing well. Sandy Martinez is playing well, and it'll be interesting to see what they do because normally when they play like Man City, Villa away, they crumble a bit. So it'll be interesting to see what Emery does. Will he come and have a go? But then if they go too gung ho, we can pick them off. I can't imagine him sticking everyone behind the ball like everyone else seems to do. I can't imagine Villa doing that. But you don't know. But, you know, at the end of the day, they are in a title race. A point away at us is a great result for them.
Yeah,
so
I think if you offered Emery a point now, he'd snap your
he'd
fingers
take
off.
it all day long. They would. So they could well set up shop. But yeah, they're flying at the moment. They won like 10 games in all competitions in a row.
Yeah,
so
hell of a run.
they're the form
No
team.
injuries though.
No,
They're on this
again,
run. They've got no injuries. I mean, I know Tyrone Mings is
mate.
not about, but the nucleus of the team has just stayed solid throughout.
All their star players.
Makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
some absolutely fantastic games coming up for us. I was just looking at the fixture this going into January, and like you look at it, we've got Forest away on a Saturday night. We've got Manchester United at home on the following Sunday. There's some absolutely cracking games of football, but
they're all coming up, mate. All coming up.
I do think that the Aston Villa game is we have to win that game. Do you know what I mean? Like what happened in that last minute, but not all that. Not just that. When I think back to the game last year against Aston Villa, where it was 2-up, and then somehow drew the game 2-2. Like Aston Villa have killed us quite a few times now.
2-0 defeat, mate. It's all breaks me off.
We owe them one. Do you know what I mean? We definitely owe them one. And I'm hoping that the boys will be up for it. And as I said, I'm hoping Gabriel will be back for that because I think he makes such a difference to that team. Do you know what I mean?
Massive.
Huge. You know, set pieces in particular is where we really miss him defensively and attacking. You know.
And also opposing teams, they see he's back on the team sheet. They'll be like, for fuck. You know.
Yeah.
But for God's sake, we've got to be on it now.
We need to switch on big time, yeah.
Although I did think Nketiah was very good against Everton, to say.
He done well. He's come in and done okay, hasn't he? Yeah, he's been good.
Yeah, he's a good little player.
But yeah, so obviously big game on that Tuesday night. I'll let you start with that one, John. Where do you think that one's going?
Oh, I won't say 5-2. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal. I think it'll be tight. But yeah, I do think we'll win. Obviously, I think we'll win every week. But yeah, I just more hope than anything else. But yeah, it could well be 3-2. To be fair, it could be. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they set up. Because I mean, as you said, they take a point all day long. But it's down to us to get the job done. But yeah, I can see them scoring in good form. But yeah, I fancy us to beat anyone, especially at home. Yeah, I'll say 2-1.
I'm going to go 3-0.
Oh, fucking go on.
3-0. I think it's going to be one of them games. I think the players will remember how hurt they were after the way they lost at Villa Park. They'll want to be setting the record straight with that as well. And I reckon we're just going to go up 3 gears and smash them 3-0. There you go.
Have you had games, Andy, where like you come away from a game like that and then you've had them?
Yeah, it's horrible. You have that feeling in the pit of your stomach, especially if it's a big game, you know, a big opponent you're playing against. And you lose out to it. You can't wait for that return fixture. You can't wait to set the record straight. It hurts. It's almost like a physical feeling, and you can't wait to get them back at kind of your place and give you the chance to go and set the record straight. And looking at the desolation on the pitch that day, you'd like to think that there was some players that don't want to feel like that again. And remember, it was Villa that did it to them, and just go out and smash them.
I think there is definitely a big piece of that, isn't there? Like in terms of the way that ended that day and the memories of that day. Like as I said at the time, it could be the pick me up that we'll probably need going on to later on in the season. And I think going into that game as well, they'll remember that, won't they? In terms of that performance, and I feel we will get the win. I think I'm going to go 3-1 because I think they will score. But I do think it's a night game, and I do agree with you, Andy. I think it's one of them games where I think we're going to come out the traps flying. And if we can get an early goal against them, I think, like, do you know what I mean? It changes absolutely everything to go ahead against them. I felt that at Aston Villa, we'd gone 2-1 up. I think, again, I think it'd been one of them games where we could have gone on to win to score third. And I was really disappointed that day. And I'll tell you why I was disappointed, because we come out that second half absolutely flying, and then we scored and we just went reserved.
And stopped. Like, we did it against Everton.
We're happy with a draw here. Yeah. Let's just make sure we don't concede. But they were there for the taking, mate. When Trossard scored, they were there for the taking at that point. Yeah. And I feel it was our own fault that day. It was definitely our own fault that day. Do you know what I mean? In terms of we showed what we could do against them. It was exactly like Sunderland. Like we went 1-0 down, then we went 2-1 up, and it looked like there was only one team in it. And then
it was at that point.
Second, and then it was just like stop.
Let's just invite the pressure. Let's give away silly free kicks. And, it was the same Saturday. We get the goal and we ultimately, the second half, we didn't really put our foot on the gas at any point. The few times we went through the gears and slipped some passes together, it looked easy. And you just think sometimes, do what City do sometimes and go and batter teams. Yeah. Just go and put them to bed. And, ultimately, we had a really good, healthy goal difference over City a few weeks ago, and that's gone now. We're not taking our chances. It's a similar picture to last season now, where we're getting results, but ultimately we're making it hard for ourselves because we're not putting away chances, and we need to rectify that as soon as possible.
When everyone's fit, Andy, up front, who do you believe starts up top?
God, that's a question. For me, if it was me personally, I'd go Havertz. I just think we're a better team. If your front man isn't scoring goals, what else is he offering to the team? And Gyökeres, he grafts his heart out, but he doesn't actually offer a great deal. Even for a big tough guy, if you watch closely, he doesn't win many duels. So in his link-up plays where he sometimes falls down a little bit, and that's where Havertz can come into his own. Maybe he's a little bit more. Yes, he might not be a prolific goal scorer like Gyökeres can be, but ultimately he offers more to the team if he's not scoring.
Do you think he ordered that Gyökeres into the striker that he was at Sporting, or you got concerns?
I've got concerns. I'll be honest. I feel for him a little bit. I feel that he isn't getting the service. There's opportunities for us to whip balls in the boxes, which is what he feeds off, and that's what he was getting at all of his previous clubs. It must be a massive learning curve for him, because we don't hoist balls in the box that often. We don't just put loose balls in there. We'll make the moves, create the chances, and going from there. But I don't know. I don't know whether we're seeing Gyökeres going through a spell when maybe he's not high on confidence at the moment. But for me, he seems to have gone backwards a little bit compared to just before he got injured, and he was really coming on. He seemed to be linking up superb with the squad. I think he's struggled a bit of late. But you can't deny he puts a shift in, and he does. He works his knackers off for the team and the squad. But my worry is if he's not scoring, what's he offering? Whereas like your Havertz's and your Jesus's, if they're not scoring, we'll still offer you more on the pitch.
I feel over this Christmas break he needs to get a few. I think he definitely needs to score some goals over this Christmas break. I think if he can get some goals to his game and get some confidence going, and maybe, do you know what I mean, mate? It's as such. I think so maybe John said it last week. I think he did say it. It's like Gilchrist needs this massive moment. You did say it, didn't you, John? It's like he needs this massive moment, and I feel that he needs this moment not just for him, but for the team to share that with him as well. And I feel at the moment, I'm 50-50, to be honest. I feel that actually I don't think that the players are doing the right things for him at times. But then I see that chance he had on Saturday in the first half, and I just feel that he just lacks a little bit of pace at times. Do you know what I mean?
Does. Yeah.
Tarkowski got back on him, and I just feel that maybe sometimes he just lacks that little bit of pace. But
because Tarkowski's he's not rapid.
No, he's not. That's the thing. But I do think that in certain games, Gilchrist could be absolutely superb if we used him right. But I do think as well that actually, if you're going to go away to Tottenham Hotspur, I'm paying Havertz all day long. Because he's killed them there, like that. I remember that. Yeah, he killed them there. I mean? Like I do think the big games away. I think in the big key games, I think you're going to play Havertz up top. Like I think if you went to Man City, I think you're going to play Kai Havertz. Do you know what I mean? But if you go to Tottenham, you're going to play Kai Havertz. But I think Gilchrist is more going to be around the second half of the season, more the home games. And I think in the Champions League as well, I think it'd be interesting as well. Like I think if you go away somewhere like I don't know Real Madrid, you're going to play Kai Havertz up top, aren't you? But maybe in the own game, you might set up a little bit differently. I don't know. I do feel that Kai Havertz is his number one striker, but Gabriel Jesus is very, very good in the Champions League as well. So he's got. It's interesting how Arteta will play at second half of the season when all three of them are fully fit, because they all got different attributes. They all can.
You're forgetting option number 4.
Well, Mikel Merino.
Mikel
Merino. And to be fair, he's an option up there. He's definitely an option up there.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be. I think he's going to need to pick and choose the right games. But in my eyes and in my head, I still think Kai Havertz is his number one.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know whether it is the case or not, but I genuinely think that Havertz is his go-to guy. But it is, as you say, though, it's phenomenal options, though. Must be murder for like away managers setting up a team, not knowing who's going to play up front, and the different problems that each different one of them three can pose the opposition. So it's a massive tool for us if we use it properly. Using these three guys right in the right games.
I think if you look at Jesus last year, they went away to Palace just before Christmas. They won 5-1. Jesus scored 2. I think he has an apps. I do honestly think that the players love playing with Jesus because what he gives them and what he offers them. And I think the thing with Jesus is that he offers you that unpredictability, don't he? Because he's very good on the ball. He's technically really good. He can run with the ball. He can cause that, but he opens up space for other players, don't he? With what he does and how he works. And it was quite interesting in that game against Club Brugge when he come on. He had quite a lot of chances. And I do feel that the team are connected to him. And I feel that he plays really well with the team. And I do feel the team love playing with him and they know how to play with him. So I think Jesus is a big option away from home as well. Like I look at a game like Bournemouth and that, and I think, do you know what? I remember the game against Bournemouth, the first game, I think it was the first away game. Do you remember when Saliba buried that incredible shot? Yeah. Jesus was unbelievable that day. We won 3-0, but it could have been 5 or 6.
Yeah. He can be on his day an absolute world beater, and it's just about whether we can get him up to that level of sharpness.
I think we can.
Because he looks sharp at the moment. He looks.
I think he's a player that will get himself to that level. Like he's not a lazy player, is he? So he's not the kind of player that you expect to come back and it'll take him a long time because he will demand the best out of himself. Like he's been managed under people like Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta. So
he's also a dream to play with as well. I think for like your Odegaards, the Saka, Martinelli or Trossard, to have him the opportunity to play off him, not just having to look wide all the time and knowing full well that he's got a bit of brilliance in him that can create situations. That extra option to go and play off. It makes it way more options for us going forward as well. I love Jesus. I love it. It's not only the fact that he's phenomenal, gifted ability. He puts a shift in as well. He's a pin in the arse to defenders. He's at people all the time, given the chance. I just love the guy, and I think you're right. I think he's loved by the squad, and they all know what he's been through, and they're desperate for him just to get himself on the score sheet and go on a little run.
Yeah, definitely. Just a question for you, John. Beatrice Gunn saying we have enough tradesmen to play fairer styles of play. I'm struggling to understand why we don't bend our order to suit our specialists. I think that on that question, that I do think that when you look at our attacking midfielders, like you got your one areas, you got your Ezes and you got your Odegaards, I do think there's certain players that might connect better with other players. Like I do feel that actually maybe Eze might be better for Gallcrest than maybe what Odegaard would be.
Yeah, Odegaard especially likes playing with Havertz. You know, they're really good friends off the pitch, and you can see that on the pitch. You know, Havertz is a very intelligent, clever footballer, and obviously Odegaard is as well. So he's on the same wavelength with him and Saka. And I said, they've just got to give Gyökeres a bit more time. I mean, you know, I'd still think he's going to be Arteta's number one striker. I think if you'll spend all that money on a striker, yeah, I just don't understand why you wouldn't play him in the big games, in my opinion. But we don't know. I mean, we hope Havertz comes back as a player he was. We don't know how much this injury is going to take out of him. You know, he's a wonderful player, but again, he's so versatile. You know, some of the Germans, they're such clever footballers. He could play anywhere. I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what, you know, he could completely change formation. You know, he's saying, we could bend and do this. We've got so many options. There's no reason why he can't play two up front every now and then. Or just have Havertz just behind Gyökeres. That'd be interesting to see how them two could play together. But I said Havertz is such a clever player. He could see his runs. Yeah, you did that. You know, him and Jesus behind him. It could really unlock something. You know, so
I do believe that. I do believe, in what I heard, that in training in the summer there was a lot of work done with Havertz and Gallcrest in terms of him playing further up alongside him. And I'd always go back to the first game of the season about 2-3 years ago against Nottingham Forest, where I always say first half was unbelievable. It's one of the best half footballs I've seen. But I'll tell you what happened that day. Yeah, it was a Kai Havertz, and he was playing in midfield, but he was pushing right up to Eddie Nketiah that day. It was like they inverted the three, because obviously at the time it was Timbers who went off injured. He was inverting into the centre midfield role, and they were literally just leaving the 2 or 3 at the back. And literally, obviously, he was inverting into midfield. And then what was happening is Havertz was then pushing straight up top again on Nketiah. And I do believe that we will go back to that kind of system and that kind of play. And I think Havertz is key for that. And I think if you play against like Havertz and Gallcrest, like literally up there, like I'm struggling to see how many Premier League defenders will be able to cope with 2 of them. Do you know what I mean? Because actually, at the moment, Gallcrest at times is having to fight a hard ship up there, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right? It ain't the easiest role to play whatsoever. But when you've got him and Kai up there together, I think they could cause a lot of havoc. And
2 big targets as well, because they don't cross the ball not enough times for a big. So when they have it on, they'll be swinging the ball left, right, and centre, and that could really set Victor off. So, you know, 2 big targets to hit, we can whack the ball in.
I'd love to see.
Score even more set
I'd
pieces.
love to see Gallcrest get a big winner. Say Aston Villa at home, and he got a big winner.
Yeah,
it's what he needs, I think, as well.
A late double.
Yeah. Just something huge. He just needs a massive game and a massive goal, and hopefully we'll see a different player completely.
Like, I know he got them 2 goals against Atletico Madrid, and we can't grumble at that whatsoever. But like, I feel that he needs a proper goal. Do you know what I mean? Not like one on the line. Do you know what I mean? Or one that deflects in. I feel he needs a proper big match, like Eze. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he had that moment against. He's gone the other way though, really, isn't he?
I know, yeah. He's disappeared though.
Do you know what I mean? He needs that big moment, Gallcrest, and then hopefully, like I think as Big Gunner just said, like obviously, hopefully that'll be celebrated. Like, especially, I feel that the team need that moment with him as well. Do you know what I mean? I feel that there needs to be that connection between the team and him, and hopefully some moment like that will happen, because it's not like he's not celebrating, because I watched him when other players score, he celebrates. So like, there's a lot of people go, oh yeah, the team don't like this, team that, but I don't think it's that. I just feel that they need that moment with him. Like they've had that moment with Eze, Like,
Yeah.
I was pretty vocal against Crystal Palace. It was a bit of a shit moment, really, because he couldn't celebrate his first goal at the Emirates.
Yeah.
But he had that big moment at Tottenham, and he'll never be forgiven for that. Forgive him.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Doesn't really matter, does it? Like, okay, he'll come back. He'll come back.
I wonder if Eze scores tomorrow.
No, I don't think he will still.
I don't think he will. Yeah.
No, but the thing is with Eze, you know he'll come good again. Do you know what I mean? He will. I do believe that like going on later in the season, he'll have some massive moments. But I just feel with Gilchrist, like it's a big thing, not just for him, but for the team to kind of share that with him. I don't want to say accept him because I think that's harsh, but I want it for the team to share that with him. So really, really want to see him get that big goal soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone's crying out for it, and it'll just kind of cement his role in the squad. The chemistry's even closer then.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed.
Couple of big goals. Have a Christmas.
Yes.
It'll be lovely. So, Victor, if you're watching, go on, Sam.
I'm sure Victor's watching.
Chris saying, imagine Arsenal fans being upset after having the hardest start of the season. They have had a hard start, haven't they? Like when you look at the away, I look at the away games now in the Premier League, and there's not many easy games. There's not many easy games. Like we get rid of Everton, and I think, do you know what? We've got to the other side of that batch of games, and I think, we've got Bournemouth away, and I'm thinking, actually, that's not an easy game. 5:30 on a Saturday night. Do you know what I mean? So I think, and then it's Forest away. So I think you look at the Premier League, like every away game is hard. Do you know what I mean? Like I think the only games this year that you look at and you think we should win them games is Wolves away, and obviously we beat Burnley away. You look at West Ham, you'd like to think you'd beat them away, but it's a London derby, so you've got to go there and do it.
Yeah, but we've battered them there the last couple of years. They're awful, honestly.
But yeah, I do think that actually, when you start looking at the away games, we have got rid of a lot of the hard away games, but you can't underestimate these teams. Like you still got to go Brighton away. Do you know what I mean? They're all games that you can't underestimate them. But I do feel if we got our back four back and we get Gabriel back, I think we're a totally different team. I think Gabriel transforms us in terms of his personality, what he does on the pitch, but also how good he is in the defensive third and the attacking third. We are definitely missing him on set pieces, though.
Yeah, without doubt. And the spine of the team misses him, doesn't it? You know, if your spine of the team is rock solid, you know, that's a massive kind of leap forward on the rest of the players that are around him. But getting him back, I mean, God, it'll just be phenomenal. It'll give the whole place a lift. You know, he's loved by everybody. And he's been a huge miss.
Definitely. Well, I think that's pretty much kind of summed up the games. Obviously, we'll be having our Christmas break next week, so we will catch up just after the New Year. I believe it'll be after the Bournemouth game. We're back on January the 5th. So, obviously, Merry Christmas, chaps. Hope you have a good one.
Merry Christmas to you guys as well.
Yeah, well, enjoy. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, you'll see me next Tuesday. It'll be a treat for you, won't it?
You're lucky. You're lucky, man.
Tuesday, I certainly will.
I'm the baby, mate. Wiser. I'm never sure.
Yeah, maybe not too sure. Yeah. 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, don't, mate.
Yeah, I don't know how you get away. I don't know. Oh, how are you? I bet you're right.
Yeah, I've got dragged. We do Christmas shopping ourselves, dragged around.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, that was horrendous. No. Yeah, I did that the other week when
I had a bit of a touch though. So basically, we've done Christmas shop. We was out for about 3 hours. I got back about 2:30. And we got the boys at McDonald's and everything, and I put all the shopping away, and Sarah was going to her nan's. So Billy went up to bed and said Bobby wanted to go. So Bobby went with Sarah to their nan's. And she was like, you can go to bed. So I went to bed for about 3 o'clock, didn't get up till 5. And I was like, it's quite lucky, really. So I can't grumble.
Beautiful, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, lovely, yeah.
but yeah, it was a good night. It was a good night. Obviously, thank you very much to absolutely everyone in the chat. As Jason said, Merry Christmas to all apart from Spurs fans.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah, they can do one.
Merry Christmas to you, Jason, as well.
And remember, there's always some poor little sod waking up and getting a Spurs shirt for Christmas.
The poor kids. Yeah, bless them.
Yeah.
Spare a fault for them.
But yeah, no, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Obviously, thank you very much for supporting us throughout the 2025. And hopefully we'll go into 2026 that we're hoping that will be a golden year for us. So fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
But obviously, have a good Christmas, guys. Have a really good New Year, and we'll see you again soon.
Yes, have a great one.
See you
Cheers,
next
fellas.
year. Hey.